Hiya, so today is the 23rd of September and yeah, I've just got back from a run, having yesterday stupidly decided to sign up for the virtual Manchester Marathon, which is in this time of COVID. Basically, at some point in October, go and run 26.2 miles somewhere and upload the GPS data. I've been running, probably I think the longest I've run for quite a while is about 10k. So yeah, going to try and do it one day in October, self-supported and just straight along the coast and take my time doing it. Just been out with this, which weighs about 2 kilos and probably has most of what I need in it, being mostly water, bit of food, probably head torch, because I can see a lot of this being walking and running and generally slumping about. Yeah, we shall see. I'm going to try and do it in a sensible way, as quick as I can, but also having a bit of an adventure, because that's called for at this time. And I'm trying to raise some money for Cleft Lip and Palate Association, and yeah, we shall see what happens. So this is potentially day one of about 30-40 odd of potential hell. We'll see. Take care. In terms of planning a route, this is obviously not going to be the Manchester Marathon, because with this outbreak of COVID-19, we're all advised against unnecessary travel, and there isn't actually a marathon going on in Manchester, hence everybody doing it virtually. So I'm going to go from home and actually use home as a base and something of an aid station. So there'll be essentially 3 large loops, with the house at the midpoint of all, or not the midpoint, the starting point of all of them. Which is really nice, because it then splits it into loops that at the far point are about 4.5-ish miles away. So start off, get to the end point, the furthest north point, turn round, that's about 4.5 miles. That seems like a very doable afternoon stroll, and that's like a distance I can break down in my head and go, yeah, that's achievable, you know, that's doable. And then turn round, back along the flat, along the prom, get home, grab some more fluids, maybe grab a bite to eat, keep calories going, and out on the second loop, going sort of out to the west and sort of slightly south, but again keeping along the coast essentially. Still pretty much out the way of people as well. It's like not super populated, and sort of back to the end point there, so half marathon distance, and then back home to grab some food, maybe a change of socks depending on what's going on. Yeah, I thought about trying to make 3 exciting, interesting loops, but there's not, you don't really want to end up doing big distances going south, and you certainly don't want to do big distances going north. So the third loop just repasses the first loop again, added to the fact that it's super flat, literally going along beside the sea. So there's distances, changes in elevation between about 22 feet and, what is it, about 65 feet. So absolutely nothing. I mean, you barely notice it. I'm sure I will notice it when it comes to it, but yeah, it should be cool. So just to give it a bit of context, we start at home here, and yeah, we follow the coast all the way along, out past the headland there, pretty much to where the Great Orme's coming out there along the horizon, and then come back along here, widdly along the front, and then pretty much the same distance out and round the headland over there, all the way round to the next village, back here, and back out there again. Yeah, that looks terrifying when you look at it like that. On a training run for this, and this is pretty indicative of it. That's astounding, isn't it? You know, as I said, quite well isolated, and beautiful. So just trying out some nutrition strategies and hydration and whatnot, and enjoying the late September sunshine. Woo! We are coming up to the turnaround point in the loop, and it's also a handy dandy bin, so I'm going to chug the energy gel and turn around, and then it will be a case of home cheese. So I guess it's tap the lamppost and yeah, bring it on back home. Several training runs down now, and we've got a fairly good idea as to what works and what doesn't. Yeah, the big disappointment was the hydration pack thing, bag with the straw, stick water in it or whatever, which, yeah, I can't quite seem to get it to work for me, and I end up with about that much water at the bottom that I can't get through a straw, which about 200 mils, so weighs about 200 grams, which is more than need to be lugging around for no apparent reason. So that's getting ditched and going back to just having a simple bottle. Sack itself feels alright. I think I probably need it just for some protection of the elements if the weather does come in off the sea. Yeah, I want a jacket and stuff, you know. So that in there. The other one was nutrition. Lots of people go with just energy gels. Tried it. Kind of can go with that for a bit, but you know what, after a while it just doesn't agree. So got very, very, very small chopped up sandwiches, which seems to work. So it's white bread and Nutella. That white, straight in, off it goes, which seems to work a treat alongside an energy gel every sort of 5 miles or so, and some nuts and fruit, which is quite a cool way to go. Feels quite balanced and diversified. So yeah, got a bit of a plan set out, got some fueling. Basically just got to wait now for the right weather and keep plodding on, and it's all getting quite exciting.
With a whole number of weather warnings in force for today and indeed for the weekend, effectively for strong winds and very heavy downpours. We could see up to a month's worth of rain falling over the hills and mountains through tomorrow, so not particularly pleasant. Far from pleasant out there at the moment. Wales underneath there, I do promise you, the blues and greens show the heaviest echoes of rainfall. Miserable, heavy, thundery downpours with winds reaching gale force in some areas. Temperatures.
We're now back in lockdown as a county, so it means we can't cross the border to another county, or they can't come and see us. However, we're still allowed to go out, do exercise, do all those things, go shopping, which is really quite strange. So I've had to tweak the route a bit so that it doesn't go over the border, and apart from that, hopefully we're all still good and just keeping care of everybody and everything and keeping well. Yeah, a bit scary. So here we are. In terms of fueling strategy, we're really quite simple. We have the Nutella butty already cut into soldiers, so what I'll do is I'll wrap those up individually and then you can chug those one at a time fairly quickly and easily. Got some energy gels, which are great, but quite honestly I can't have too many of those without feeling quite funny in the tummy, which is not ideal. We have some nuts and fruit, which handily fits into a little Kinder Egg holder, which is quite good for chugging a mouthful from, and you can refill it from the bag it comes in, and that fits almost perfectly into there, so you can just pour away. Got water as well for outstandingly obvious reasons, and a big thermos so you can refill little bottles up as and when we need. Got instructions from me so that I remember to actually top up water and so on as I come back in, and a big mug of tea, because like a lot of the world at the minute, I've been working from home, and yeah, my caffeine intake over the last year has probably gone through the roof, which, given it was probably fairly high beforehand, is now ridiculous. So to be able to grab a quick swig of albeit cold tea in a pit stop, and just keep those levels ticking over will be brilliant. The other really, really good thing about using home as a base, no raised toilets! 7 in the morning on the 8th of November, and it looks like today's the day, you know. The weather's clear, the news is getting more and more dire about coronavirus infections and lockdowns and things, and yeah, it just seems like if this is going to happen, it's probably got to happen now. So yeah, I was going to try for a half marathon today anyway, by way of training, but you know what, I think we're just going to go for it. And a couple of friends have donated towards the charity side of it, links hopefully down there. They did that last night, and yeah, so that just made it more real, so just got to get on with it. And yeah, it's quite exciting really, and terrifying, but yeah, going to get this lot down me and give it a couple of hours to shake down, and then we'll be on our way. Yeah, pretty much at the start, ready to go, and yeah, 26.2, here we come. Good luck to me, I guess. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Wow. I mean, can't beat that, can you? Sky's clearing over there, and yeah, it just looks amazing. Well, no pun intended, but that one really is a sign of the times. Don't know if you can see that on there. Local COVID rules apply. That's hard to beat, isn't it? I mean, beat sitting behind a desk for the day. And work, if you're watching, thank you for letting me out. That is officially the far point of the first loop. Woo! Yay! 1/6 marathon distance. Not anything to celebrate, but small victories. The clouds are coming in, and first gel of the day. Yep. Ooh. Don't know if you can see that on there. The island starting to disappear. Rain's coming down off the sea. There's still blue sky about, but it's definitely looking greyer up on the mountains. Yeah, it will be what it will be. You know, I just hope it doesn't hit in the middle of like a down phase or something. You know, there will come a time when I start to feel a bit tired and if it craps out round then, it's going to be a bit grim. But hey, it's an adventure. Hello, as predicted, it's coming in. But yeah, just look at it as a view anyway, you know. That's truly spectacular. Yeah. Okay, you might get wet, and I might have to put the phone away in a bit so it doesn't get destroyed. But yeah, loving it. How far are we now? 6 miles through. So time for another Nutella Butty. Bye. Gotta love the occasional randomness. Just coming through 7 miles, and just been overtaken by a cyclist. Whilst I was wondering about how I'm doing for time, and you're out by yourself doing some quick mental arithmetic. 7 times table in base 60. Just kind of going along, talking to no one, shouting numbers. It's got to be confused as hell. No wonder he went past so quick. Back towards home on the first loop, and we might have got away with the weather. It's just kind of weird seeing everything abandoned like this, you know. You know, that should all be like buzzing with people doing stuff and selling ice creams and things. And but don't get me wrong, it's really beautiful without people here, but it's a bit strange, you know. Ah well, probably just the rain. Pit stop. Yeah. Grab the nuts. That's that. That is actually, believe it or not, water. Look, see out the bottom of it. It's just in there. And yeah, cold tea. Nice. Are we ready? This is going to be grim. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the second loop is now well and truly underway. Just encroaching on the 10-mile mark, and seem to be doing alright. Yeah, the sun is now back out. Woo! And the moon. Oh, feeling good. We'll see how long that lasts. Bye. You may remember me mentioning coming towards the route because of COVID restrictions and lockdown on the borders. And it does mean now we're left with this monstrosity of a hill to try and get it in. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking now because this is about to get hard work. Big hill down and it's off. Get into the countryside, which is lovely. You know, a bit of off-road, above the sea, outside the houses, and it's beautiful. Yeah, you know, while we're at it, quick bits camera, doing this with the Cleft Lip and Palate Association. It's fairly obvious that, yeah, I've got one myself, and they support loads of people all over the place, all around the world. I'm really lucky I grew up in the UK where there's the NHS. Help support people while we still have one. There's lots of people all over the place less fortunate. And it's the sort of thing that affects people physically, you know, affects their families around them, their parents, sort of psychological things throughout life, you know. So it's well worth it. If you've got some money to donate, that'd be great. If you haven't, don't worry. It's been a really nice excuse for an adventure. And there's still just over half distance to go. There you are, see that? What I'd give for a big bowl of chips right now. Coming up on half distance. And yeah, that's really cool. This is also obviously where the half bit starts. So yeah, half marathon. Yeah, things are starting to get tough. The left foot feels a bit leaky, but we're all right, you know. Yeah. Starting to go into some faraway places in my head a bit, which, yeah, in this time of COVID, we've all got to be a bit careful, mental health and whatnot. Time to grab a handful of nuts. Back round the loop again. Tell you what though, it's not nice going back downhill. My legs are starting to feel really quite tired, and yeah, starting to really feel that. in body and mind. But I need to kind of pop around and come and see this, and everything feels so much better again. Yeah, and gravity is once again my friend. This is so much better going down than it was coming up. It's actually almost fun. Just gone through 16.2 miles, which means, whoa, less than 10 remaining. Now I've got to go kind of skirt around that headland though, which, despite the fact it goes round, there's a fair bit of up to get round it, which I'm not looking forward to. But when we get to the far side of it, it means pit stop number 2 and last loop, which I've already done once, so I know I can do. Yeah, less than 10 miles. It's not that far, really. Keep telling yourself. Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople, been a long time gone. Constantinople, now it's Turkish delight on a moonlit night. Every girl in Constantinople lives in Istanbul. Now Constantinople, so you would take Constantinople, she'll be waiting in Istanbul. Even New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can't say. People just liked it better that way. So, yeah. Now on the final loop, and yeah, averted the crisis, because yeah, it's never an adventure until something goes wrong, I suppose. Yeah, got in, sorted stuff, got about 2 minutes down the road, and thought, oh, my rucksack feels really nice and light, because I ditched my raincoat, which is already starting to look like might have been a mistake, but that's by the by. 2 minutes down the road, haven't got my water bottle. So, yeah, back goes, angry stomping, back to the house to pick that up. Might have been a blessing in disguise though. My legs were super tight. I'm starting to feel a bit cold. But just that walk seems to have cured it, which is nice. And we are, yeah, getting to maybe about 8 miles from the end, which is fantastic. The rain squall has passed for a bit, it would seem, and there's kind of blue sky starting to show up over there, which is really cool. Yeah, I had to hide under a cliff for a minute or so, just put my phone in the dry bag so I didn't get trashed and things. But we are now 21 miles, 21.4 miles through, so less than 5 miles left to go. Yeah! Can't come soon enough, really. Here we go then. Last trail going down. It's that lamppost again. Turn around on the final loop. Hell yeah. They've even cut the grass for me. Wow, how nice is that? I didn't notice that before. So, yeah, let's get home. Bath and a beer might be called for right now. And it's about 4 miles, give or take a bit. Yeah, that did rain, didn't it? Speak to you in a bit. Not gonna lie, gotta walk for a bit. Yeah, it's just, well, you can see, it's generally unpleasant on this bit. And there's headwind coming round, and yeah, my legs are tired. What are we on now? 23 miles, or 23.3 miles. So, less than 3 to go. But it's just a bit of a gradual uphill this bit, and yeah, it's hurting. But if you look round that way, it's really good. So yeah, don't look that way. Back round to by the giant's thumb again. One finger, one thumb, keep moving. My finger, one thumb, keep moving. No. It's a strange old song. But hey, it's definitely a thumb. Look, the line's up and everything. That way! Home! Just got soaked again. Yeah, that'll teach me for ditching the raincoat. But, and it is a very important big but, and I cannot lie, we're into the last mile. And the sea's come out to welcome us home. And, yeah. Here we go, you ready? 26.2, here we come. Yay! Full marathon. And I'm about, don't know, 200 yards from home. Just over there. So, bit of GPS click. That is an actual marathon. Yes! Finally back home, you know. Thanks for tagging along. If you can donate, please do. If not, don't worry. That was, yeah, real adventure. And I really enjoyed that. And we're going to enjoy sitting in the bath as well. So, yeah, cheers for watching.